Hello, this is Michel Leviathan Sorbet and you are watching a new episode of Wojennik TV. Some time ago, while reviewing Rebel Riders on the High Seas from GMT Games, I told you that the Civil War, the US Civil War, is one of my favorite topics. And since then I have already reviewed Lincoln from Phalanx, and now it's time to show you a new game which is covering this interesting subject. It will be a game from a developer, from a publisher, which already had its place on Wojennik TV. It's a game called Antietam 1862 from Command Post Games. Now, the previous movie on our channel concerning a game of Command Post Games was covering Forest of the Impaled, Vlad Dracula's Final Stand. This movie was made both in Polish and in English, and if you had the opportunity to watch it, you could see the quality, the high quality of the components enclosed in the tube with the game. Because what stands out when it comes to games from Command Post Games, it's the way those games are packed, because they are always enclosed in such an interesting, intriguing tube. I love it. I find it very, very pretty and original. It's something that attracts the attention of a potential customer. The game itself is meant to simulate the epic struggle, the epic battle of Antietam from 1862 during the Civil War, a battle, very bloody battle, during which the Union Army has won a victory over the Confederate troops, but this victory was never exploited due to General McClellan's lack of initiative after the battle. So General Lee, who suffered a defeat at Antietam, managed to escape with his army to cross the Potomac and to fight another day. The Battle of Antietam is very important because it was something of a turning point of the Civil War. It was also the single most bloody day during the Civil War, because Gettysburg was a battle when more casualties occurred, but this battle was a 3-day battle, whereas Antietam was a single-day battle. Now, the game was created by Marshall Barrington, a very well-known designer from Command Post Games. The game is meant to be played from 1 to 14 players. That's something very unusual, very original. I do not have absolutely any idea how this will be possible, but I'm eager to find out. The game should be played in about 45-90 minutes, and it's supposed to be played by players from 12 years old up. So let's take a look at what is enclosed in this tube. I'm very, very excited to see how the components of the game look. Here is the tube of Antietam 1862. Now let's take a look at what is enclosed inside. So first of all, we will get some counters, some stickers, just as it was in the case of Forest of the Impaled, because we will receive some units or some pieces on which we will have to apply some stickers. But first of all, let's take a look what is enclosed in those bags. First of all, we have some gray pieces, which will represent probably cores or units. Then we also receive the same type of die that we had in Forest of the Impaled, but also some smaller die, blue ones and red ones. Some discs also, which will be used as well as those cubes. Those are wooden cubes, very good quality, very good quality. So here we have the gray pieces. Probably those will be the Confederate pieces. In the second bag, which was also inside the big tube, we will receive more units, more pieces. much more than the gray one, much more than gray ones. Here we have blue, dark blue, both wooden pieces and cubes, and also some discs. Those will be used during gameplay. Those will be the union pieces. So on those pieces we will apply some stickers, and we receive stickers of both colors for both sides, gray stickers and blue stickers, which will be applied on different pieces. So we have, for instance, stickers which will be used to indicate Jackson, the artillery reserve of the Union, and then on the other side we also have Smith, Wilcox, Sturgis, Rodman. We have also some stickers where we have both flags of the Union and of the Confederacy. So those stickers will be applied on the pieces, and therefore they look for now just like discs, wooden discs or wooden pieces, but then they will instantly change into armies, into corps, into different formations. Then we receive also other pieces of material which will be used during gameplay. So we receive two big paper sheets on which we will probably put some units. We see that those are to be cut, so we will have some spaces on which we will be placing units. McClellan, Lee, Hooker, Jackson, Mansfield, Franklin, etc. Those will be used during play. Now we also have some information on how to use those sheets. So we have fold, top, face that side up towards enemy, etc. So I will have to look into the rules. What are the precise rules governing the way that we should use those sheets? Additionally, we receive the playing map representing the place where the battle historically took place. So we receive Sharpsburg somewhere in the middle of the map. The map is not too big. It's, as it was in the case of Forest of the Impaled, beautiful, very well designed paper map. It is possible to acquire also a version of the game with a map made of a different material. We receive a sample in this tube in order to show the customer what would be the difference between both types of maps. This one is of course of a better quality. It's much more pleasant to play on it, but to be frank, I must say that the paper map for me seems absolutely sufficient. So the map is much more different than Forest of the Impaled, but it's also very pretty to look at. We will see if it's very functional. It's something of a map, reminding me a little bit games like Guns of Gettysburg. So we do not have hexes. We do not have neither square or rectangle spaces, spaces on which pieces will be moving. This movement and battles will be explained in the rules. The rules are written and prepared on some pieces of sheets of paper. As you can see, they were printed in color. We can put them somewhere in a cluster, or we can keep them just as they were inserted in the tube. So the rules, as you can see, are not very long. We do receive also some optional rules. The rules are pretty easy will be pretty easy to learn, I hope so. We have some additional optional rules. We have a historical background, so we can also read about the battle, but I would suggest to read more details about this battle, also searching specialist articles if someone is interested. Now we have also a sheet governing setup, so this will enable us to see how the initial positions of both armies look like. We have also a chart with the order of battle, where we can see also how to apply the stickers, so we can make sure not to apply those stickers in a different way than they should be applied. We receive also two maps, two smaller maps, maybe for plotting some movement, or maybe to look at all the structures and terrain formations on the battleground, in order to planify our movements, in order to make sure what type of terrain is somewhere on the map, if it isn't as clear as it would be when we look at the big map. Finally, we also receive a chart where we can take a look at the terrain effects. As you can see, we will have woods, hills, rivers, buildings, streams, and marsh. We will also receive additional information concerning flanking and road column, rates of march. Finally, also a nice addition, pub battles, rules of play 2.0, if we want, for instance, to create our own box, or if, as I said earlier, we want to insert those rules in a small book. Here you go, you can have a nice book cover. That's it when it comes to all the components enclosed in this huge tube of Antietam 1862. The quality of the components hidden in this tube were, just as I expected, fantastic. I loved Forest of the Impaled, both in the terms of how the game worked and how the game looked, and I believe it's one of the prettiest games that I have ever seen. Antietam will probably not be as pretty as Forest of the Impaled, but it's still a game that stands out when it comes to the quality of the components. The elements are very elegant, very pretty, and I believe that they will be also very functional. The rules seem to be well written. Forest of the Impaled had a great rulebook. I believe this will be the same standard, so I'm anticipating a short lecture and a quick, interesting game. I'm very eager to try it. I'm very eager to know how the game could be played by up to 14 players. That's something very rare, very intriguing, so I'm looking forward to play my first game. So that was the unboxing, or rather the untubing of Antietam 1862 from Command Post Games. Take a look at our videos, we have some reviews, we have some unboxings. Have a great day and bye.